Seems to be the season of reshuffles. The Mpumalanga and Limpopo Premiers both made changes to their provincial executive committees today. Mpumalanga's Reshuffles appointed former murder-accused Mandla Msibi as cooperative governance MEC, and in Limpopo, Stan Matabata removed 3 MECs from his executive. Both premiers say these changes will help improve service delivery, but not everyone seems to agree with that sentiment. eNCA's reporters are on the ground. Pule Letshwiti-Jones is in Mbombela and Moloko Moloto is in Polokwane. Let's speak to Pule first. Pule, what did Mandla Msibi say about his new appointment?
No, Annalie, Mandla Msibi is quite a character. I mean, he's in high spirits. This is a chap who says that he's quite happy and, of course, quite interested again to be heading the cocked portfolio this time around in the province as he makes a very strong comeback again. You'd remember, just like you said, he was, of course, facing 2 counts of murder as well, which we understand was withdrawn. And then he also had that process of having to step aside when he was elected the treasurer in the province. So he's quite happy after his appointment. He believes that he will be heading the call in terms of delivering services. I mean, COCTA is quite a big and very essential, important department which looks into the functionality and stability of municipalities in a province. Mpumalanga is one province, of course, that also had been flagged by the AG to say consists of dysfunctional municipalities, and that was a problem when you have to be looking into delivering service delivery. But Msibi is quite confident that he will be, creating and giving much needed effect into driving the force behind, having service delivery be delivered to the residents in various communities around Mpumalanga. But let's just take a listen to what he had to say earlier on when we spoke to him.
I don't know, this is a stigma because there's justice in South Africa. And when you charge a person is innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. So the justice system, the NPA itself, the one who charge people, withdrawn the cases. And we've been saying all along that these cases are malicious, we've done nothing. And after 11 months, they themselves withdrawn. It's not even us who requested that they withdraw. It's not even the justice system. It's NPA withdrawn the cases.
So you think you can be an effective MEC?
I've been an effective MEC before. I'm effective in any endeavor on being deployed.
Pule, what's been the reaction in Mbombela to the reshuffle?
Yeah, well, opposition parties have a different view to the cabinet reshuffle, particularly when we spoke to the DA. I mean, they're quite upset about the reshuffling of the former MEC of Public Works, Ms. Lash Nimarain, and of course the former MEC of Finance, which, surprisingly they've welcomed, which is Mr. Mkacha, who they say, of course, they had reported to the Ethics Committee in the province for a failure to disclose the correct figures when it came to financial reports. However, they don't believe that the former Public Works of Roads and Transport was supposed to be reshuffled, because what we saw today is that the chairperson of the ANC and former MEC of COCTA, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, is now heading the call of Public Works, Roads and Transport. The Premier says she believes he's very competent to head the portfolio. This is a contrary views to what the DA believes is just nothing good and a waste of time. But again, we understand that new into the cabinet is Mpumi Hlophe, who will be heading the finance portfolio in the province. The Premier saying that she carries quite a bag of experience and she will be doing quite well. However, the DA believes that this is just another, wrong cadre deployed into that portfolio. The DA, of course, slamming the ANC for that move as well. So it's quite mixed reactions in the province. From now onwards, just a matter of time to give the MECs, that bit of leeway to see whether they will live up to the expectations and, of course, deliver the much required work to the residents who believe that not much has been done in terms of service delivery in the province.
Well, thank you very much, Pule. Let's cross over to Limpopo now, where Moloko is standing by. Moloko, what's been the reaction to the reshuffle in Stan Matabata's cabinet?
Well, Hanley, in the northernmost province, the Premier actually fired 3 MECs. Polly Bushielo, who was the MEC of Transport and Community Safety. She's also the Central Executive Committee member of the SACP. He also fired the MEC of Social Development, Dr. Dickson Masemola, who actually contested him during the ANC's provincial congress in June. We also saw the Premier firing the former Deputy Secretary General of the ANC Youth League, Ms. Thandi Moraga. Ironically, Hanley, the Premier, when he fired these 3 MECs, he actually did not even inform them. Thandi Moraga, as we speak, is in Zimbabwe representing the government of Limpopo, and Dickson Masemola learned of his dismissal just after he delivered a speech representing the Premier himself yesterday, and he learned through the media. But the Premier brought into his cabinet the former mayors of Vembe District Municipality, Florence Radzilani, and also Nakedi Sibanda Kekana, who was the mayor of Lepelle Municipality. These 2 municipalities invested millions of money, 300 million rand in the case of Vembe and 150 million rand in the case of Lepelle onto the now defunct VBS scandal, or VBS bank. So the Premier defended his decision to appoint these 2, saying that they actually have not been charged. So we then spoke to him to say the SACP and the Democratic Alliance are actually criticizing you for appointing these 2 people. Let's listen to the Premier defending his decision to appoint these 2 people, including Rogers Monama, who is an ANC PEC member.
I'm a bit concerned about that statement, but definitely the organization, being the African National Congress, will respond to that statement. Because the organization, being the African National Congress, consulted with the South African Communist Party before these changes were made, and they did not raise these issues that they are raising in that memo. But all in all, they are an independent organization. They are entitled to their views. So, well, that is their view.
Well, thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti-Jones and Moloko Moloto, coming to us on those reshuffles in both of the Mpumalanga and Limpopo Premiers staffing. We go now